Welcome to Being at Home with George. I'm excited to be here, and let's begin the way we always begin by creating the possibility of being able to say yes, to embrace whatever comes up and generate the hope, and at the same time, make wise choices. And so this is coming up on the holidays. And I remember that quote, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And to be honest with you, I've always had a challenge with Christmas because I felt like this is the only day that we gave ourselves the possibility of being happy. And if you happen to be sick or be frustrated or be dealing with some adverse conditions, it's unfortunate because there's only one Christmas day a year. And so this idea of how do we create a space where we can celebrate like Christmas on a daily basis, where we can get beyond just taking for grantedness of life and living in a way where we're not really in control. We're not really living in the mystery. It seems like Christmas comes around and we're willing to be living in the mystery. We're willing to be surprised. We're willing to try to be happy, try to be present. And so this idea of this sense of wonder, we talked about wonderful, that the wonder is part of that. And this idea of wisdom begins in wonder, or this idea of understanding begins in wonder because we can wonder about something. We can be curious. We can reflect in it. We can become willing to live in the mystery, to live in the don't know, the not knowing. And so this definition of wonder I'd like to read to you is one I've used over the years. And it says, wonder is the unwilled willingness to meet what is utterly strange and what is most familiar. It is the willingness to step back and to let things speak to us, a passive receptivity to let the things of the world present themselves in their own terms. Now, that also requires that we look at people, places, and things like that, that we're able to see people in new and fresh ways. And they say familiarity breeds contempt. And maybe we can get beyond that by just seeing and approaching things with a beginner's mind, seeing in new and fresh ways, and open up the possibility, because the moment is pregnant with possibility. So the moment is pregnant with me being able to see myself and others in new and fresh ways. And actually, instead of interpreting what I'm seeing, to allow what's there to speak to me in its own language. And it's this exploration. And this is what T.S. Eliot talks about in his poem when he says, "We shall not cease from exploration. And the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and to know the place for the first time." So just imagine seeing ourselves or seeing somebody else in a way where it's like we're seeing them for the first time, even though we've seen them thousands or millions of times. But being able to bring this quality of mystery, this wonder into life so that we're able to be fully alive and fully present and to actually agree that it's the most wonderful time of the year.